The table's all set for us to finally start dealing with this large group of guards. Naturally, we're going to start by picking them off from a safe distance. Or at least trying to. There's one down. Only one more is without armor. He's in kind of a lucky spot. That pole between us and him happens to be absorbing most of our arrows. There's an easy solution to that. Now our only recourse is to take out the remainders by hand. Obviously not just hand, though. Having to deal directly with 3 armored enemies. No gimmicks, just a wide open area to sword fight them with. It's quite difficult, as you would imagine. Got him with the Rutu, which is probably our worst sword combo. It's very easy to block. Even just the remaining pair is cause for concern. We literally don't want to let our guard down. Blocking is more of a useful tool in this game than I'd like to admit. You can interrupt any animation that Rao has simply by pressing the block button. That'll put you in a state of safety from one of your opponents. When there's a pair like we have here, they can hit you from both sides and break through your block. For the most part, though, if you use your block and wait for the right moment that your enemy is tired out after a long volley of attacks, you can retaliate most fatally. Another big, open, hollow room. Granted us just the briefest opportunity to take out the Hornblower. And the archer is no challenge after that. You could see they were rather generous with our headshot on the Hornblower. If we'd been just a few paces further back, probably would have missed. Yet again, we arrive just as the Hornblower is about to make his return trek, giving us a very small window of opportunity to take him out. I don't know who's controlling these doors, or how for that matter, but I can say with some certainty that they weren't raised in a barn. An opponent set up rather perfectly for a wall kill. Kuzo is interested in something in that tree, probably the door that he's meant to call reinforcements from. Oop, this is not the right corner, despite Rao's repeated attempts to navigate it stealthily. Not a peep out of him. Seems like the horn was his only means of communication. This is a rather familiar setup. In fact, it's considerably worse than the one we saw on our way to the Tuku earlier. We do have a rather major advantage this time. We don't have to approach by ladder, so we can begin our assault from a much greater distance than last time. With any luck, that'll mean we can hit the archers before they can hit us. Looks like we are indeed in luck. We can also start working on the ground opponents. They are, for the most part, not watching us very attentively. There's two more unarmored enemies, rather nearby actually. There's the armored guy still. One more to go. And we're finally caught. Maybe we can still work a headshot out of this. Yes, indeed. The Enforcer's a bit on guard, but maybe we can distract him by dropping this ladder. I might have drawn his attention. Can't see him. Still don't see him. Maybe we need to be quiet. Or maybe not. Yep, there he is. Still, took down more than half a dozen guys before he even had a chance to notice us. Get ourselves a nice fair fight. And it's brought to an uncommonly quick end. The fact that he died on top of a stone immediately deflected our sword after it had already killed him. 100% health rune there, in case we didn't perform so well. And a health capacity increase, which also acts as a 100% health refill. Now this is the nightmare version of what we just dealt with. If we get a bird's eye view of it, we can see that there are many more archers. They aren't all lined up as nicely. And every grounded opponent is fully armored. And we're forced into a ladder approach once again. So we're gonna have to face them on their terms. All except this one. Take what I can get, and then get to work. Let's see if we can get any of the archers. They. At least that means they can't get us yet. Surprisingly, the Route 2 works again. I don't typically use it because it's effectively just the same thing as that sweeping attack that Rao does automatically once the enemy is a few steps away. Case in point. And it's much, much slower than that sweeping attack. So just learn your distances, and there's no reason to ever do the Rutu. We're in range of the archers now. The armored enemy absorbed one of the arrows for us. I certainly don't want to be in range of the archers. Nor the trees. For the sword combos, the Heiadoko combos are considerably faster than the Fuwa Usus, but much less effective. The Rutu isn't even lethal by itself, and both of the Heiadokos very easily blockable. That's much less true for the Usus. However, the Usu part of the combo is very, very lengthy. So, if your opponent has any backup whatsoever, they will probably interrupt it. And right there is an ideal example of using the nearly unblockable Usu combo to guarantee a kill on an armored opponent. And the enemies in the back, they have the Enforcer AI, so they're finally approaching. Want to deal with the archers before they get here. But I only managed to get one. Breaking from combat to collect health runes can be a risky adventure. If you get struck in the back while you're fleeing, you get knocked down and opened up to a good 3 or 4 more additional attacks. And if the reason you're running away is to collect health, those additional attacks could very well kill you. Seem to have gotten all of the archers. Never mind. One more armored enemy has gotten caught behind a tree, so he missed the boat. Shame for him. Now, the victory circle is already available. We could have just run past this entire encounter. That is not the path of the barbarian. And of course, dealing with an enemy who knows you're there is very obnoxious. They will always interrupt your aiming as you're going for that headshot. But there could be only one victor. Thankfully, it was us. Now we get to explore the contents of the tomb. Vicariously.
Fearing for their lives, the line of Usu fled Tongatu, leaving behind their lands and possessions. After many moons of traveling, they came to a great forest and sought shelter within its grounds. As they feared, the mark returned to the next born, identical in shape and color as the one that Ruutu had bore. Fearing the same would happen to this child as had happened to Ruutu, the line of Usu swore none would see this mark again. It would remain hidden and no one would ever leave the forest. I am Sumbu Usu, last of my family line, and bearer of the mark of Kri. To break the curse, we agreed to never bear children. To end this legacy through the ending of our family line, this tomb is guarded with purpose. If you find yourself reading my words, take heed. Later that day, as agreed, the old man met my master at the entrance to the forest. He now wore official-looking robes and was flanked by bodyguards. His personality also seemed to have changed. He now seemed less feeble, more demanding, less in need. Rao handed over the scroll and received his payment, the parting words from the old man chilling him to the bone. You are a rich man, barbarian. When your day comes, you too can now afford such a tomb. My master traveled home slowly. The gold wore heavy on his heart. The prospect of its riches failed to excite him. This latest enterprise had troubled him deeply. What was this mark that cursed its owner? Why was it hidden away in such an impenetrable manner? What exactly was on the parchment he had stolen for the old man? For many days, he wandered before returning home, deciding to keep this latest adventure from Baomusu lest he disapprove.
Geez, Scar from the Lion King would say the old man was laying on the sinister a little thick there. Now Rao has ditched the incriminating mask, and we're just going to try and forget whatever may or may not have happened at Heiadoko. Maybe some training will put those thoughts out of our mind.
I will speak with you later, boy. Raiding tombs? Is this what I raised you to become? That's a job for cowardly thieves and bandits, not a warrior of your lineage.
Or maybe it'll be the one reminder that we still have to suffer. Damn you, omniscient Baomusu. He's still happy to train us, though. All these tutorials are fully voice acted, but Baomusu talks very slowly. We can't move until he's finished speaking, and when we can move, it's only in the exact specifications that he gave us. Very frustrating. I really dislike the tutorials in this game, as useful as they are.
Up you go, boy.
So we're just going to skip ahead until we've appeased Baomusu. Now we can fully explore the outside area, which is quite nice. Baomusu's going to keep giving us tips, naturally. But for the most part, I'm just out here to see the sights and remember a more innocent time.
Kuzo, your familiar, is your most powerful tool, boy. Use him wisely.
If we'd participated in the training from before Heiadoko, we would have learned a bit about those bells. But they haven't come into play in the actual game yet, so it's good to learn about them now, at least.
Listen carefully, Rao. Archers that wear armor are one of your greatest threats, as your arrows will just bounce off them. Watch for them, boy. They can cause you great harm.
As we've seen. There's the sign for the inn. Looks an awful lot like Kuzo, actually. Maybe this is the Blackbird Inn or something. Don't want to hurt the pet pig, but we can still push him around. And docked at the pier up ahead is the boat that we took to Taparoku. So greatly aided in our stealthy approach. And the whole area surrounded by sweeping landscape of mountains. Maybe we truly understand the scope of what we're fighting for. Hopefully next time, we can be the hero this land deserves.